Okay, let's see if we can get this video done. Welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. As always, I'm your host, Fearless Floyd. Hit that like button, subscribe, notify. You can reach me at TheFearlessFloydShow at yahoo.com. I now am on Telegram, The Fearless Floyd Show. So look me up. It's in the comments below. Uh, I've already done the intro for this three-part expose, and I've already got one of Chris's followers, kind of uh, going back and forth with me on his belief that I am creating these videos to disparage and beat up on Chris. However, no, I've already given him an applause for having over 1 million views, 62 videos. I know how much work that takes. The time, the effort, um, the persistence, and having your life taken over by your social platform. Um, he doesn't answer his phone, doesn't answer texts, doesn't answer emails because he's swamped. But it's of his own evolution. When you want to become a YouTuber and an influencer, you have to accept the responsibility of handling all those inquiries and questions and whatever. So, in this three-part series, I'm going to go over three different sections regarding Chris and Chris's conviction, Chris's appeal, and his review of his appellate opinion, and a couple other things. Now, like I said, hey, Chris, again, I reached out to him, hit him up. Boom, there it is. Okay, there's the invitations. Let's do a video. This one right here. Bottom one's from Saturday, March 12th, 2022. Hey, brother, let's do a video. The previous one was from Sunday, February 20th, which was last month. Are you available to do a Zoom tonight? I can send you my link. Never heard a word back. I can't do anything with that. I've given the man ample opportunity to reply, respond, and be on this interview. Um, I personally have spoken to Chris Hauser for 2.5 hours. Uh, pull that up. I know I showed it earlier. There you go, Mr. Hauser. So just so y'all can see, he's in my phone. There's the history. 2 hours, 28 minutes, and 50 seconds on January 6th. Okay. So I have also share my screen. Right. Sent. And here we go. All right, this is my email. Hey, Chris. Hi, Chris. I've called and left text messages for you to do a guest spot on the show. Hope you'll consider doing so and love to have you on. I'll be producing new content all day today. All the best for this Floyd. There you go, folks. And of course, you see it's Christopher Hauser at Gmail. That was sent today at 11:24 a.m. It is 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. All these are on Central Standard Time. So without further ado, I'm just going to dive right into this thing. Okay, I'm going to cut to the chase. We're going to get in this rabbit hole and see where we go. Uh, and yeah, all right. It was white. Search. Hmm, that's crazy. Ah, there we go. All right. And this is Chris's Department of Correction page from the Tennessee Department of Corrections. And I've already reviewed this on the intro, so this is where we're going to start. And these are all his forgery convictions. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 forgery convictions, as well as filing fraudulent lien convictions, in which he received 2 years for the filing of fraudulent liens and 20 years right here for the forgeries. Okay. I ain't got nothing against you, Chris. You've been to prison. I've been to prison. We've all been to prison. We're in prison on the prison planet. So I don't have any problems with Chris going to prison and being an ex-con or a parolee or anything like that. So throw that completely out of the window. Actually, he is one of my brethren. So when he and I spoke on the phone, we were able to talk the same language. Okay? Because when you talk to somebody, you can get into that gear and boom, you can tell if they've been to prison or not. You can tell if they've been to jail or not, believe it or not, because it's like going to a different planet or a different country, a different culture, a different language, different characteristics, different mannerisms. All that plays into this. So him and I were able to have a very gregarious conversation, to be honest with you. And I enjoyed talking to Chris because we did speak the same language. And I've said this before, Texas and Tennessee are very similar in their criminal justice system and their court system. Very similar, almost the same. So I'm not here to beat Chris up. I wanted Chris to come on my show. I wanted to give him a chance. And look, I, I still, Chris, you have an open invitation. You have my number. Give me a call. We'll do an interview. We can put everything out in the open. Okay? That's how I like it. That's who I'm about. That's all I'm about. I'm going to put the truth out there. I'm going to put the facts out there. And people are jumping to conclusions just by looking at the intro, thinking this is a hit piece on Christopher Allen Hauser. And it's not a hit piece because I'm going to show you some things that I'd like answers to. That's all. That's all this is about. There's questionable things that are happening, questionable evidence out there that need an answer. So here we go. Let's just dive right into this. Okay. And when we get to part three, I can't even get that finger up. I broke my knuckles so many times. Fights. part 3. It's crazy I can't do this one, but I can do this one. I would think this one wouldn't work, but well, that it still works. Anyway, uh, what a life I've had. Anyway, uh, I'm just going to show you the facts. That's it. You know, and anybody that I address in this video, you're more than welcome to come on my show. We can talk, have a discussion. No problem. Okay. So let's start asking some questions about what's going on. So let me get over here. And we're just going to give you the introduction about what's going on, what's what, who's who. All right, here we go. This is from the Knoxville, Tennessee Daily Sun, the newspaper there. 10 Knoxville area men arrested for filing false liens. February 16th, 2017. Okay. Michael Robert Birdsell, Austin Gary Cooper, Lee Harold Cromwell, Victor Douglas Bunch, Christopher Allen Hauser, Ronald James Lyons, James Michael Usinger, John Jeffrey Williams, Kenneth Ray Faust. So if any one of these 9 gentlemen that are presently in front of me, but I'm sure some of these guys are still in prison, considering the sentences they received, you're more than welcome to come on the show and set up an interview date and do a video. I'll post it on all my platforms. So, you can state your story and then we can ask some questions and move on from there. So here's the article, real short. This is images of courtesy of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. And of course, not pictured is George Edward Williams. Powell, 3 counts, draw a lien, forgery. So apparently there's one other guy, no picture. Nashville. A year-long joint investigation by the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation and the Knoxville Division of the Federal Bureau of Investigation has resulted in a 320-count indictment and the arrest of 10 individuals on charges of unlawfully filing liens and making false entry into records. Multiple other state, county, and local law enforcement agencies also participated in the arrests. At the initial request of the 7th District Attorney General Dave Clark in May 2016, TBI, which is Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, special agents began investigating reports that over a period of several years, multiple individuals from East Tennessee had filed Uniform Commercial Code liens and financing statements with the Tennessee Secretary of State's office in Nashville. The liens were filed against dozens of different individuals across the state, encumbering their property. The liens were filed in the amounts of $4 million to $12 million. The victims who had these liens filed against them range from citizens employed by government entities, police officers, and attorneys to elected and appointed officials, including city and county mayors, sheriffs, and members of the judiciary. The case was ultimately assigned to a special prosecutor with the Davidson County District Attorney General's office. On January 24th, the Davidson County Grand Jury returned indictments charging multiple individuals with a combined total of 320 counts of 2 charges. Draw a lien without a legal basis, which means they did not have a security interest or a security agreement in place, which is pretty much, I can't say for all 50 states, but definitely in Texas. You have to have one of those in place before you file a UCC1 financing statement or a mechanic's lien, because if you don't, you are filing a fraudulent lien. So, which is an E felony and forgery, $250,000 or more, a Class A felony. On Wednesday, simultaneous arrests of these individuals in Anderson, Cocke, Greene, and Knox counties were conducted by law enforcement officers with TBI, FBI, Tennessee Highway Patrol, Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security Investigations, Knoxville Police, Knoxville County Sheriff, Morristown Police, Anderson County Sheriff, Cocke County Sheriff, Newport Police, Greene County Sheriff, Jefferson County Sheriff, Oak Ridge Police, and Oliver Springs Police. The individuals were transported to Davidson County and booked into the Davidson County Jail. Those arrested as a result of these indictments, their charges and bond amounts are below. One individual named in the indictment has not yet been arrested, as I alluded to earlier. So I'm going to stop share and clear these out. There we go. So I can move on real quick. Okay, right here. This is from the Southern Poverty Law Center, splcenter.org. There it is right there. Hate Watch. Okay. 10 sovereign citizens face 320 felonies in Tennessee. This was from March 28, 2017. In what may be the largest joint prosecution of sovereign citizens, authorities are bringing a 320 count criminal indictment against 10 of the anti government activists just arrested after a year-long investigation in Tennessee. Basically, this is just a repeat of what I just read to you from the Knoxville Times. Okay. Uh, right there. $2 billion worth of bogus liens. 2 billion. Okay. That's a substantial amount. Okay. And they were doing these from 4 million to 12 million. 4, 6, 8, and 12. I don't know why they were going in $2 million intervals. That's a question that needs to be, well, it doesn't need to be asked, but I'd like to ask. And this just goes on and on. Of course, this is going to be a lot more detailed. This investigation and the arrests even made the USA Today. So this was a pretty big deal, considering they had a shooting the day of the trial in that county at a Waffle House by a sovereign citizen. So yeah, that's how big this thing was. All right. So now that you've seen that, yeah, sorry, I gotta clean this up so I can do this. All right. So they had a trial and they were found guilty. I'm trying to stay on track here and I don't want to get off bases. So, yeah, let me just do that. Sorry. All right. All the defendants were found guilty. And this is in the Court of Criminal Appeals of Tennessee at Nashville. January 13th, 2021 session, State of Tennessee versus Ronald Lyons, James Michael Usinger, Lee Harold Cromwell, Austin Gary Cooper, and Christopher Allen Hauser. This is an appeal from the criminal court at Davidson County. This is the cause numbers or case numbers or action numbers. This is the judge, Cheryl A. Blackburn. And this is the Court of Criminal Appeals case number. And you see right here, it's got the file stamp from the clerk from the appellate courts. And this is March 3rd, 2021, which is a year ago, close to the day. lacking a week or 6 days. So I'm going to read this. Ronald Lyons, James Michael Usinger, Lee Harold Cromwell, Austin Gary Cooper, Christopher Allen Hauser, defendants, were named in a 302-count indictment by the Davidson County Grand Jury for multiple counts of forgery and fraudulently filing a lien for their role in filing a total of 102 liens against 42 individuals with the Office of the Tennessee Secretary of State. Defendant Cooper was also named in a second indictment for an additional 5 counts of forgery and 5 additional counts of fraudulently filing a lien. Prior to trial, Defendant Hauser filed a motion to dismiss for improper venue. Defendants Cromwell, Cooper, and Cooper joined in the motion. The trial court denied the motion after a hearing. After a jury trial, each defendant was convicted as charged in the indictment. The trial court sentenced Defendant Cromwell to an effective sentence of 25 years. Defendant Cooper to an effective sentence of 50 years. Defendant Lyons to an effective sentence of 22 years. Defendant Usinger to an effective sentence of 21 years. Defendant Hauser to an effective sentence of 20 years. After motions for new trial and several amended motions for new trial were filed, the trial court held a hearing. The trial court denied the motions in a lengthy and thorough written order. Each defendant appealed, raising various issues challenging their conviction and sentences. After a deep review, we affirm all the judgments and all sentences. And this is 36 pages. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share this video. It is copyrighted. I am not a doctor. I'm not licensed by the AMA. I'm not an attorney. I'm not licensed by the American Bar Association. Therefore, I do not give legal or medical advice at any time. I just happen to be a pro per or pro se self litigator. And in doing so, I understand all this legalese. And because this case just happens to be from Tennessee, and I have litigated in Texas and on the federal level as well, that I completely understand exactly what's going on in this opinion. I understand the cases that they're using because the standards are similar, if not the same, because the Constitution of Tennessee is almost identical to the Constitution for the state of Texas. And in doing so, I comprehend this very, very, very well. I consider myself to be an expert in criminal law, appellate law, post-conviction law, actual innocence law, wrongful convictions, and forensic science, as well as junk science, and of course, any type of intoxicated related offenses. Absolutely. So, without further ado, this will conclude part one of this three-part series expose on Christopher Allen Hauser, aka Chris Hauser, and what he's all about. Again, thanks for watching the video. Stay tuned for part two, because here we come.